Yo, what's going on, yo? Today I'm breaking down the game of Marjon Beauchamp, the 6'7" wing out of the G League Ignite, and let's start it off with his stats. For the guys in the G League Ignite this season, the games were kind of split up into two parts. Marjon played 12 games over the showcase and as well as 12 on the G League Ignite tour. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to combine them stats, and he averaged 15.1 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists, along with 1.6 steals and almost a block per game, shooting an impressive 51% from the field, but a pretty poor 27.3% from the three. So I want to start it off with probably Marjon Beauchamp's greatest NBA attribute, which is his finishing ability. He is an excellent athlete with crazy bounce. He's an amazing scorer in transition, he fills a lane perfectly and runs a floor super hard, which just leads to a lot of easy leak out buckets. Marjon is also a super strong finisher through contact. He has excellent body control, and with his athleticism he's able to adjust his finishes and make super difficult layups look easy. Combined with his athleticism and touch, Marjon is also one of the best cutters in this class. He has a super high IQ and just knows how to find space and get into open passing lanes. So I think he'll get a lot of easy buckets in the NBA via his amazing cutting. He also has the ability to attack the offensive glass for putback opportunities. Over his 24 games, he averaged just under 2 offensive rebounds per game. He reads the ball off the rim really well, and he's able to explode up vertically to finish. I think if his shot comes along, that'll only help him even more, because he does have a great first step. So if teams start respecting his jumper and close out too hard, he's going to be amazing at attacking closeouts and getting to the rim. But as of now, teams would probably just rather give him the 3. So his 3-point shot is definitely his swing skill. The next aspect I want to talk about with Marjon Beauchamp's game is his defense. He is a super versatile and switchable defender. I think he'll be able to guard 2 through 4 easily. He has pretty good size at coming in at just under 6'7". He's strong, can move laterally, and has an incredible near 7'1" wingspan. He's very good at challenging guys vertically in the paint, so I think he will be very effective as a weak side shot blocker and defender, but he's also super valuable having him defend out on the perimeter. He has pretty quick feet, and he's great at using his length to his advantage. It's definitely a tool to help him recover when he's beat, but generally he's excellent at containing his man. He closes out really well on shooters, he stays down and on balance, and also uses his length to contest the shot or contain the drive. And then as a help defender, he's great in passing lanes, he anticipates plays really well. There was times where he was caught ball watching, and he does have a tendency to overhelp, which gives out easy kickouts, but I think he'll adjust in the league. He's a pretty smart player, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. There are still some concerns I have, like there are with every prospect. Whilst he's a very capable on-ball defender, there are times where he can be beaten too easy. Specifically when the offensive player changes directions quickly. Marjon's not too great at changing directions quickly. He slides pretty well, but with shiftier guards, I think he might struggle a little bit, especially early on. And then also he is quite poor as an off-ball defender, chasing shooters around screens, and in general his screen navigation is pretty terrible. So there are definitely some areas for him to improve in, but overall he is a very good defensive prospect, and I would expect him to be a plus on that end right away. Next up, onto his shot creation potential. I definitely think he has a lot more scoring upside than he got to display in the G League Ignite. He has been a big time scorer in the past, including averaging over 30 points per game in JUCO. He has the ability to hit the pull-up in the mid-range and a pretty nice pull-up 3 as well. His handle is solid and functional. I think there is a chance Marjon Beauchamp becomes a guy who can get a bucket when he needs to. He can create a lot of space with his long strides, his footwork is nice, he has the athleticism, and I think his handle is solid enough to allow him to create for himself at times. Next up, onto his shooting. This is definitely Marjon Beauchamp's swing skill. If he can become a league average 3-point shooter, he's going to be a very good player. It's definitely the most vital improvement area for Beauchamp. For the Ignite this season, Marjon Beauchamp was very inconsistent as a shooter. His release is pretty quick, but it is very low, so I think that'll definitely need some work. His shot doesn't really have much of an arc, and he often misses short because of it. And overall, I think he will be held back significantly as an offensive player if he isn't able to develop into a more consistent 3-point threat. His catch and shoot numbers in the half court were pretty solid, and he did shoot just under 40% from 3 in college on over 100 attempts. So I think there is some promise for him to be a decent shooter, but for now it's definitely his biggest area to improve in. Now finally, onto his playmaking ability. Marjon Beauchamp is not a great passer. He misses relatively simple reads, and then there's also just been too many times where he's left his feet without a plan, so he did pick up quite a few bad turnovers. I think what will be super important for Marjon Beauchamp is just tightening up his handle. His handle definitely isn't great. It can be quite loose, so he's not really much of a self-creator at this point, but he does have a few moves and counters in his bag. His hezzy going right is pretty tough, and with his quick first step, he's excellent at freezing defenders and putting pressure on the rim. Because I think getting paint touches will be such a big part of Marjon's game, he'll have to get better as a passer, kicking out to shooters and finding cutters. I don't expect he'll ever be asked to run an offense, he'll be more of a complementary player, but there were a few flashes of nice playmaking, and I think he's a smart enough player for that to not be an issue in the league. It'll develop pretty quick, and I'm pretty confident in him being an excellent prospect. As for a draft range, I think it's probably unlikely at this point he'll go in the lottery, but can see him going anywhere from about 15 to 25. I really like his fit in Houston. I think that would be great for him. He'll help them out a lot on defense, and I think he's going to be a really good player. Alright, that's all I got for this one. I think I'll be dropping a mock draft in the next few days, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you enjoyed in the comments, like the video, subscribe for more. JB Hoops, out.